Hey y'all, I pray you're having a blessed day. Okay, I'm getting ready to cook some cabbage from Larry's garden. Amen, somebody. And I got some requests for me to show you how I cut up my cabbages. So let me show you. First, I cut up the green leaves. A long time ago, I used to cook the green leaves first, but you don't have to do that. You can cook them all together. Okay, let me show you how I cut them up. Okay. And for my disclaimer, you can cut your cabbages up however you want to cut them up. Okay, but this is the way I choose to cut them up. Amen, somebody. So what I do is get the leaves. These are the green leaves, y'all. The green one. Well, the whole cabbage is green. Okay. Amen, somebody. But I get these like this. And I put them together. And you actually cut them up like you do collard greens. You cut them just like you do collard greens. And this is how I do my collard greens. You just roll them up. Roll them up. Get my knife. And cut them. Okay, I don't want that part right there. Cut it up. You can cut them up as big or as small as your heart's desire. Okay. Amen, somebody. And there you go. So as a little girl, this is how my grandmama used to cut greens, like this. And I would do that too, but this is faster. And I think they did that so they can get them small. Because my mom, my grandmama, they like to get those greens and cabbages real small. But, you know, I like them small too, but they don't have to be small. It'll be alright. Okay. Like, these are different sizes. Man, it don't make me no never mind. They're going to get 8 regardless. Amen, somebody. And like I said, this is not a written rule of how to cut cabbages. You may not cut your cabbages like this, but this is how I do mine. And it's all right with me. Amen, somebody. You cut yours like you want to cut them. This little cabbage head is good because it's just me and Larry eating. Okay, amen, somebody. So I'm going to cut it as if it was big because I would still cut it the same way. Okay. So I cut it like that. It's old baby cabbage. And what I would do is just cut it in half and do it like this. But if it was bigger, y'all, if the cabbage was bigger, I would cut it in 4s. I would cut it this way. So I would cut it in half and then put it in 4s. But this is small. And of course, once you get them all cut up, you got to wash them, y'all. So I'm going to wash them maybe like 2 or 3 times. And so I wash them. I fill the water up in this bowl. And then I transfer the cabbages into this bowl. And you want to do this until the water is clean, y'all. And then you may want to do it again. Okay. Amen, somebody. Like I said, do it at least 2 or 3 times, okay? So I have a strainer at the bottom of the sink. Y'all didn't see me do that, but I poured the water and the greens that was left over in this bowl into this, and the water went out. Okay. Amen, somebody. So y'all didn't see this, but I did that process. Okay. Y'all, I did not show this process either, but let me tell y'all. Okay, and so I usually cook my cabbages with some pork belly or some bacon or something, or some smoked pigtails or something. But this time I decided to cook some with our pork skin. So what I did was I boiled the pork skin first, and then I fried it a little bit so I can get some of the grease in here. But I have a lot of grease left over from the pork skins that we cooked before, and the bacon. I always keep my grease. I can remember as a little girl eating greens, and I was like, what is all that fat meat in there like that? And it is this, y'all. This is pork skin, y'all. I know y'all non-pork eaters gonna be like, whatever, have something to say, but I don't care. But we eat pork around here. Okay, amen, somebody. So I just turn the stove back on, and I'm going to transfer the greens into the pan. And what you have to do is, because I want to fry them, I don't want to boil them, but cabbage make its own water. And they're going to shrink, y'all. And it's almost too much for the pan. So when it's too much for the pan, this is what I do, y'all. Because it's going to cook down. Just put the lid on it. It's going to cook down, y'all. Hold on. Hold your horses. Okay. Amen, somebody. So as you can see, they have cooked down. So I can put the rest of them in, y'all. It's not that many. And I don't want them to boil. So I'm still gonna put the lid back on. and let those cook down, and then I eventually take the lid off because I want to fry them and not boil them. Okay, all right, y'all, so they have cooked down just like I wanted them to. Okay, amen somebody. So I'm getting ready to add some of my pork grease, just a little bit, and that's gonna season them, y'all. Okay, and then mix that up. So when you do this, y'all, I have noticed that I don't have to add salt, so I put no seasoning in them, y'all. The pork is all the seasoning they need. That'll be good, y'all. I'm not going to show that process. I'm getting ready to cook some rice and some lamb balls and some cornbread muffins. We don't eat cornbread every time I cook greens because we ain't trying to do all that. Okay, amen somebody. But today I'm going to do it. All right. And these are almost done. I don't cook them until they get all soft and stuff. I want them to be firm but not soft, you know. I still want them to have a little crisp. Okay, y'all see that fat meat? Oh my God, y'all see that? All right, y'all, I'm done. Here are my cabbages with my pork skin. Okay, amen somebody. And then I have rice, and then I have lamb meatballs and homemade cornbread muffins. Okay, and that's it. So I did the video with just the cabbages. I didn't do the rice or the cornbread muffins or the meatballs, but maybe I'll do that later. But that is lamb, and it's not from our sheep. Okay, not as of yet. Amen somebody. Give you a closer look. Ain't no chef, but don't push me. Okay. All right, y'all. I pray y'all have a blessed rest of the day. Go do something you have never done so that you can get something you have never gotten. And by all means necessary, always give God his glory. Okay.